everybody, welcome back to Tavian's World of Reptiles. I hope you are all doing well and taking care of yourselves. So I am hanging out with Antiope this morning. I was supposed to be hanging out with Zeus because I haven't hung out with him in a minute. But when I went in to get him, he was deep in blue. And so I decided to just go ahead and leave him be, give him a nice little spray down, change his water out, and let him hang out. And as per usual, the moment I get up and move around, uh, little girl here was already at the window waiting for me, and so I figured since Zeus was occupied and incapable of hanging out today, that since she was already at the door begging to come out, she could come ahead and join us. So she's kicking with us today. Now, on my last video, I got a comment, not my last video, the video, my room tour video, from Peter Webster. He was wondering what reptile I currently don't have that I've always wanted. And that was a good question, and I thought about just go ahead answering it right then and there, but then I decided why not go ahead and just do a video about it, because it's actually a little bit more of a complicated question than I expected it to be. Mostly because reptiles, for me, include like snakes and lizards, and so trying to choose which one above all that I wanted was very difficult. So instead, I decided to just do this video about the top snake that I want, top lizard that I want, and even go ahead and do a tarantula that I would really want. Because since I'm keeping all three, why not go ahead and just cover all three? Now, when it comes to snakes, top snakes I want. Now, I would say there would be just the one that I originally thought about, but then I figured I would just go ahead and give you two. One, because one that I really want is one that I don't think I will ever probably get, because financially I just can't ever see myself affording this snake, and that is the Bolin's python. For me, the Bolin's python is probably the, I don't know, holy grail of all snakes. Like, I think anybody who is interested in snakes and who has laid eyes on this snake would have to agree is probably the most impressive snake on the planet. And maybe not everybody agrees with that. I'm pretty sure there are people who are like, meh, I think there are better ones. But for me, I think the Bolin's python is absolutely the most impressive snake on the planet. But not one that I ever think I will ever own, mostly because they're rare. There's not a lot of people who are breeding them in captivity, and I'm not sure if that's because they're really difficult to breed or what, but there's not a lot of people working with them, and because of that, the demand is extremely higher than the supply. So these are massively expensive snakes. I have seen babies at like 4,500 and adults at like 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, up there. So they're expensive snakes, and I just don't ever see myself owning a snake that expensive unless I actually hit like some type of mega $1 million lottery or something. I just don't ever see myself owning a snake that is that expensive. But I guess there is another snake that I really, really want that I could potentially have one day, because it's expensive, but it's not 100% with outside of my means. It's just not one that I could just get willy-nilly, and that is the southern white-lip python. I think both the southern and the northern are both really impressive snakes. I just love the iridescence on them. I like the little white markings on their mouth. I think they are a very beautiful species of snake. However, I think the southerns are just significantly more beautiful. I just like the the light white blushing that happens with the mostly black body and a little white speckling on the mouth. I just think they're just really fantastic snakes. But would I mess up the opportunity to have both? I absolutely would not. I think the species as a whole are just absolutely fantastic. So if I could have any snake that I don't have right now, southern white-lipped python would absolutely be on that list, and it's more likely of something that I could actually afford one day, as opposed to the Bolin's python. Sorry, wow, tongue twister. And I don't. That's just not one I can see myself actually owning in the future. But those are my top snakes that I would definitely want that I don't currently own at this time. Now, as far as lizards go, there is really, I mean, I've never really been drawn to lizards, mostly because of the enclosures necessary in keeping them. The larger the lizard, the larger the enclosure. I'm not saying that snakes don't require large enclosures, but comparatively to some of the lizards out there, they require large enclosures, especially things like iguanas, which require, several 6 foot 6 by 6 by 6, if not more, space, for them when they're full grown. And then, there's smaller lizards, of course, leopard geckos, bearded dragons, but those were not ones I've ever been super drawn to. I do have my leopard geckos, and I love them very much. But if there is any lizard that I could have that I do not currently have, it would have to 100% be a tegu. I really, really, really want one, and I know that with you see these videos of these puppy dog tamed tegus, and I know that's not easily done. I know it takes work, but probably from what I have seen and had and experienced, not as much work as say my iguana does. I think they're a much more tameable species of lizard, and once they are tame, they are really just like scaled dogs. They are just so sweet and loving and kind and so cute, and I just really want one. Particularly, I would love a male because I just love the jowls on those big old faces of theirs. But anyway, yeah. So if I could have any lizard that I don't currently have, it would 100% be a tegu. And last but not least, tarantulas. Since I do have about three of those now, I figured I would go ahead and put my top wanted tarantula, which at this current time is a green bottle blue. I think they are amazing looking tarantulas. They are super, super beautiful. But honestly, I would really go for any of those really bright blue, vivid looking tarantulas because I just think they're nature does some amazing things, and the fact that something as simple as a spider can come out so amazingly vibrant is just really mind blowing for me. And the green bottle blues are one of the first blue bright spiders that I've ever witnessed, and I was like, wow, I don't even like spiders at the time, but I would totally want to see that one in person. So that is one I would definitely love to own at some point in my future. So yep, that just about wraps it up. That was my top wanted snakes. The one that I can never afford, and the one that I could afford, it would just take some time to get it. My top wanted lizard, which is the tegu, and I love it so much, and I would love it, love it, love it to death. If I ever got the pleasure of the opportunity to adopt one of those, I would in a heartbeat, trust me. But yeah, so a tegu, and then the green bottle blue tarantula as my top wanted tarantula that I do not currently own. So, Peter Webster, I hope this video has helped you get an idea of my lacking animals that I don't have that I would like to have. I know you just said generally reptiles, but considering that reptiles for me is snakes and lizards, and I also keep tarantulas, you keep tarantulas, I just figured I would just go ahead and cover all the bases. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. Peter, wow, words. Anyway, you guys take care, love yourselves, love your loved ones, love your reptiles, and you guys keep spreading those herbs.